If you are with me now, kindly drop your chat on the comment box. You can drop emojis or you can just write that you can hear me. If you can hear me, please let me see in the comment section, please. Oh, thank you very much, Oluwa Adejimoke. Abi Oluwa Adejimoke, that's good. Please, if anyone is out there, if you can hear me, let me see your emoji or let's just see. You can start commenting so that in the next 5 minutes we can start the class. Thank you very much, Adebiyi Adeola. You can hear me. Thank you so much. Please, let everybody mark attendance. Although I'll be dropping attendance during the process. Maybe if we're at the middle of the class. Okay. Oraoluwa Bolaji, I can hear you, ma. Thank you very much. Ifechi Blessing. Thank you very much. Like I'm seeing people coming on board. This is just 5 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 people commented. 5 people is on board. Okay. Please let's talk to others. Call others. Sorry. Hello? Please put it on your group that we should start joining. We just have less than 10 minutes to start. Because we have other things to do. I hope you are with your pencil and your pen and jotting book so that you can jot one or two things for today's revision of the class. Okay, we have 11 people. 11 people joined. Okay, this is Adetoyosi Salami. Yes, ma, you can hear me. Thank you. We want more people to join. We want more people on board. Okay, this is Israel at Israel. Thank you very much for joining. John Susan, thank you so much. Abidemi Hannah, I can hear you, ma. Thank you very much. So I think we have like 13 people here. And we are more than that in class. We are more than this. You can do more better than this. Let people start coming. So once is this is 9:39. Okay, this is 9:40. Once is latest 9:45 will start. 9:45 because I want more people on board so that we'll be able to carry other people along. Thank you very much. Hope they've dropped it on the group. People should start joining because I will not repeat what I will be saying. But you guys can go back to the video and check. Who is this? Hello? Sorry. So can you come back? I am in class. Okay, no problem. Um, you guys should we still have 13 people. Still 13 people. I need more people on board. But once is this is 9:41. Once is 9:45. Okay. This is Tumishe Imole. Good morning. Morning to you too. Pekulia Nwachukwu. Morning to you too. Aison Elan or Helen. Morning to you too. Thank you very much for your response. Thank you. So once it's 9:45, we'll start as soon as possible. We don't have much time to spend. Just make sure you have your book, your jotting book, and a pen with you so that you can write down some of the things that will be said. So what we really want to do today is that we're going to revise what we've done in class, just a brief revision, and how you can attempt some questions in the exam because it's very very important to be able to attempt questions the right way because some people just go straight to the point. That's not how to answer question. But I want more people to come on board before we start so that I'm looking at the time. So it's remaining 3 minutes. The next 3 minutes we start. Gift, thank you very much. Morning to you too, Gift. Thank you for joining. Okay, this is 70. There are more than this in class. So I'm only seeing less than 20 people 20 people here. Good that is asking for. Esther Adebayo. Morning to you too. Balogun Esther Oluwatimileyin. Morning to you too. Thank you for joining. We have 15 people now. But notwithstanding, in the next 2 minutes. This is 9:43. Once it's 9:45, we start. Paul Abiodun, morning to you too. Ayomide Rachel, morning to you too. Thank you very much for joining. So the next 2 minutes we kick start. Faith Oluwasegun, morning to you too. Thank you very much for joining. Elizabeth Oladele, morning to you too. Thank you so much. So we have like 18 people and we are more than this in class. Grace Sheyi, morning to you too. Mayowa Joshua, morning to you too. Thank you. You guys are turning up. Okay. Princess Kelvin, thank you so much. Morning to you too, Princess Kelvin. So in the next 2 minutes, we start what we are here to do today. So let's just wait for. I think we are close to. If I'm not mistaken, we should be close to 100 in class. I'm only seeing 19 people. That is not even half of the class. No problem. So let's just in the next 2 minutes. It's remaining just 1 minute actually. So just make sure you have your book with you and your jotter to jot down. So start anytime soon. So as I was explaining earlier, we want to tell I will be explaining to us how we are supposed to attend questions, what we need to do. And this also might also help you for your other courses. This might help you for your other courses. Omolara Yomide, good morning to you too. Thank you so much for joining. I think some people are dropping, while some people are coming. But once it's 9:45, we start immediately. Once it's 9:45, we start immediately without waiting for anybody. So those that are coming will join as soon as they are here. They join as soon as they're here. Okay. So just 1 minute more. Although this is 9:45 on the dot. 9:45 on the dot. Fola Gold. What's that? Um, what is it? No, I'm just trying to show you. Sorry, 1 minute. So this is not your question now, it's from Tasani. This one Tasani is. Yeah. But and I have your own today. Tell him it's written. Okay, you have mine today. Yes, and give me Mr. Tasani. Oh, tell him that I'm coming. I need to like lock my door. Tell him I will show up after the class. I don't want any disturbance. Okay, we are back. So Ola Gold, okay, that's the last person. So the course is the book of Genesis, which we've engaged with for like 4 weeks or 3 or so. So now, before you do anything, you must have been told by some of the lecturer before you attempt question in the exam. I hope you can hear me. Tinola Esther, good morning, thank you. So before you attempt any question in class, number one thing that you must do is to read the instructions. Yeah, Damlola Oluwaseun, thank you for joining. So you should do what? Read instructions. If you don't read instructions, that's why some people are a lot of 100 level students, even in 200 level, they're mixing things up where they ask them to like where there's a composite question until they are done before they read the structure that there's a composite questions. So number one thing you need to do is to read your instructions first. Know what you have to do. If you're asked to like answer any three questions, then that's best for you. You can start from there. And if it is just maybe number one is compulsory, number two is compulsory, I'm not saying there will be a compulsory course in the compulsory question in this course. But I'm just telling you that for other courses, you need to read instruction before answering any questions. So for you to attempt question, another thing you need to consider is that read all the questions given to you. You'll be given 5 questions. Thank you, thank you. You can hear me. Thank you very much. You'll be given 5 questions. Read all the question. A lot of students are yet to join. Thank you very much, Israel. Please do that. Ensure that they are here because I will not repeat what I've been saying. But they can actually go back to the video on my YouTube channel. Okay, as I was saying, what you need to do is that read all the questions. Be sure of the one you want to answer. Not that you've seen number one, you can answer number one, you start doing it. Then at the middle, you start looking for the question to do. What you need to do is be sure of the question you want to answer. Read all through the 5 questions. Check, okay. You can just tick. Since you are asked not to write on your exam paper, you can just tick. Okay, I'm answering number two, number three, and number four. Since there is no compulsory question. But if there is compulsory question, I would advise you that you answer your compulsory question last. Because that is the one that need voluminous, and you need to focus on it because it carries mark than the others. I have Adekwelu, thank you for joining. So now, after reading the questions, you take the ones you want to do. I used to advise my students that you should prepare yourself that your mind that you'll be given 5 questions to do in the exam. Prepare for 4. But your 3 must be solid. But don't just prepare for 3 questions and if the exam all, you'll be at loss and not seeing the other ones you read. So if you read 4 questions out of 5 or 6 that I'm giving you in class, then you will be at the chance of not being on the disadvantaged parts. Okay, so if you are to answer a question, number one thing I used to like tell my students the structure in which they should answer question is a structure. Don't just go straight to the point. They said list the religious advantage or the importance of the book of Genesis. Don't just say, okay, number one, it serves as the beginning prologue to the Bible. No, don't just do that. Don't just do that. If you are given a question, number one, you need to follow. What you need to do is introduction. You need to be able to introduce. Like, there's something I used to write. I used to do when I was in 300, 400 level. I'll just list out, okay, this is the question. First thing is to rewrite the question. Rewrite the question. Once you rewrite the question, then under it, you write answer, you underline. You underline. So then I used to write that in order to attempt the following question, in order I to look at the question very well. If it is what is the importance of the book of Genesis? I two, the meaning of Genesis. I three, the importance that is I three, which is the Roman figure. The importance of the book of Genesis. But the last one, because that is what the question is really talking about. The last one will be conclusion. There should be introduction and conclusion. You can see the structure in which I've written down. I'm not answering questions, but I said in order to answer the above, in order to attend the above question, the following will be observed. Number one, I1, introduction. I2, the meaning of Genesis. I3, the importance of Genesis. And I4, which is the last one. IV4, which is the last one, conclusion. So, because everything carries mark, that is how it is being marked. The introduction will be same, but if you just go straight to the point, you cannot have the accurate, like you cannot have the full mark, even if that question carries 20 mark, might be ending up having 10 mark because introduction might carry 2 marks, conclusion might carry 2 marks. That's almost 4, 5 marks. Some people introduction carries three, conclusion carries two. So it depends on how the lecturer wants to mark. It is always introduced before going straight to the to the question. Then if you are bold enough, if you're answering question, if you're bold enough, you can just say that the following objective will be observed. Like you want to tell us what the book of Genesis, the part in which it is split into. Like you will now break it down, not just the content, not just those little content alone. So that when the person is marking, they know that oh this student is bold enough, oh this student knows what he or she is writing because you already analyze how you want to answer your question. You can see just like you want to teach a student in secondary school, you write objective in the class. At the end of the class, the student should be able to do this, able to do that. That is how, if you answer question that way, your marker will be interested in, let me see what this person wants to write. I hope you are getting what I'm saying. So without wasting much of our time, another thing that is very, very important, another thing that is important in answering question is please write in paragraph. Write in paragraphs. Don't just write block letters. Paragraph at least 4 lines. Move to another paragraph. Paragraph carry each like each point. Your paragraph should carry points. Some people will write and they will even forget to write in paragraph. You know paragraph, you leave like 5 space before start saying your answer. Then once you write, you should have written 4 line or 5 line. Then go to the next line. Leave another like 5 space before writing. It will make your book like very, very interesting to read. Know that some people they will not even bother writing in paragraph. They will just write in block letters. Until they are done or they don't even know what to write. Everything will now seems as if somebody that is not okay wrote something. Please always have it at the back of your mind that you need to write in paragraphs. 5 line, 6 line, 7 line, you move to the next paragraph. Please, it is very, very important to write in paragraph. Then another thing is that if you are writing, use some adjectives, some words like although, however, moreover, you understand? Consequently, therefore, it is we want to start something. Okay. Prior to the coming of religion into African, the Roman emperor they thought the Africans doesn't have any religion. Moreover, before the advent of the you can see the way I'm writing it, before the way I'm saying it, before the advent of the white, the Africans already have their religion. They know God. They have their African traditional religion. They are not without religion, like the colonial master taught. Hope you understand. You'll be like, however, though, consequently, therefore, in conclusion, I hope I'm making sense. So you should use those words. The person marking know that oh, this person knows what he or she is writing. This person is not just copying. You understand? Like you are very certain of you are writing this. You say something, then another paragraph. Let's know that you are bold enough in writing. So now, after being said all that, let's just go straight to like some likely question that might be asked. I hope you guys have your books and your jotters and Bible with you. So in case you're asked to like discuss the relevance, the religious value, sorry, discuss the religious value of the book of Genesis. That's the question that is likely to be asked. Discuss why are you saying that we should answer composite question last? Okay, somebody has a question. Thank you very much for asking that question. I'm just seeing the question. The reason why I said you should answer your composite question last, although when I also was a student like you as a degree student, I used to answer my composite question first because composite questions used to be like a question that I know very, very well. But there's a lot of students nowadays, once they see composite question, they go and check, they're like, this composite question, I did not read it. But at least you have idea. Even if the one you know, composite question is like just like, I want you to write more on this. For you to get your 30 marks, composite question might carry 30 marks. While other will carry 20, 20. You have 70 marks in exam. There is 70 mark in exam. So it depends on the lecturer want to shift the lecturer want to share it into 25, 25 marks. I think that's 50. Okay. There's a way they used to share it. If it is 22, 23 marks, there's a way the lecturer will share it. But if it's a lecturer that have a compulsory question, there's a compulsory question. You can ask question, please. I will attend to all your questions. If I'm seeing them, I will be attending to your question. If a lecturer is going to give you a composite question, it means that composite question will carry more mark than the rest. So this is the reason why I say you should do it last. If you know other two questions and you know your composite question very well, I would just suggest that you do the first two, do it very well, and your composite question should come last. But if you also write it first, it's also good. It depends on the way you want to, like, how voluminous you want to be. So if your composite question comes last, you'll be able to write, even if there's like you have this time is almost against you, but at least you have more things to write. But if you have answered your composite question first, you rush and answer it because you're looking at time. Then you do the first two and you don't have time, more time. What will you be doing? You just can't submit. I bet you that these 2 hours given to you to write, 2 hours given to you to write exam is not enough. For those that know what they want to write, for those that are ready for exam, 2 hours is not enough. So people will just write for 1 hour, 30 minutes, they come and submit. One why they come and submit. I used to think that. And you want to have 2-1 or you want to have first class. How do you want to make it? What have you written? Although it's not about what you have written, it's actually about the points. Are you on point? Are you not writing off points? But if you want to treat your compulsory question first, it's actually very good. But I would advise you leave like 2 lines, or advise you if you have more things to write on it, do the other ones and do your compulsory question last. Although sometimes I do it first, but I usually advise I do it last. If you know what you want to write. If you don't even know what you want to write, also let it come last. Do the ones you know very, very well and do your compulsory question last. I hope that answered your question. So now, in case you are asked a question, discuss the religious value of the book of Genesis. I think I mentioned this question in the exam. Like the religious value of the book of Genesis is still the same thing as the importance of Genesis. The importance of Genesis being the prologue, being the prologue of the Pentateuch. I gave you a lot of it. I think I gave you like 5 or 6 is in your notes. Those people that missed the first 2 class, please, if you did not come for the first 2 class, meet with your classmates, get the note for the first 2 class. Because if you have to talk about the religious value, which is the importance of the book of Genesis. You don't need to just go straight to the point. Don't just write that, okay, it is the prologue to the whole Bible. It is it talks about everything, how the source of everything. Don't just do it that way. What you need to do is tell us the meaning of Genesis. Introduce us to the meaning of Genesis. I have told you earlier that if you're answering a question, introduction is key, it's very, very important. Then you can stipulate the way you want to answer your question. Like by in order to attempt the above question, the following shall be observed. Number one, I1, introduction. I2, the meaning of Genesis. I3, the religious value of Genesis. Then the last one, conclusion. Then you start with the introduction. Now, Genesis is from the Greek word, from the Greek word Genesis, meaning generation. Why from the Hebrew word it means bereshit, meaning in the beginning. Then the Latin word it means toledos, meaning I think meaning generation. Also, I gave you those things. And Genesis, you tell us that it is the scripture of the Old Testament. It is the scripture of the Jewish people and a scripture to the first parts and the scripture of the Christians. That is, for the Christians, they read both Old Testament and New Testament. So it also serve as a beginning. So Genesis introduces us to a lot of beginnings: the beginning of family, beginning of friend, the beginning of life, beginning of things, beginning of everything, beginning of rain, beginning of government, beginning of sin, beginning of hope. Like I think I gave you these things. So these are just like an introduction. They can tell you that it's split into two. Genesis is split into what? Into two. These two parts, we have Primevia history and the patriarchal history. You can just tell us little things about them. Like I listed it for you. Primevia, that's from Genesis 1 to 2, talk about this. Then the patriarchal history talk about the choosing of the Israelites, the patriarchs of the Israelites, like the Father Abraham, Jacob, and so on and so forth. So this is just like an introduction. Even that introduction can be split into 2 paragraphs. Make sure your paragraph is not more than 8 line or 7 line. It's okay, 7 line is okay. But paragraph starts from 4 line. 4 line. You cannot write 3 line and move to the next listing as another paragraph. No, don't do that. Minimum of lines we have in paragraph is 4. Maximum can be 7 or 8, but 7 is okay. So if you do your introduction in 2 paragraphs, that's an introduction. Then, in other words, due to this fact, Genesis is has religious value for the Christians and the Jewish people and the Hebrew people, the Jew. Then the followings are don't just highlight and explain. The followings are the religious value or the importance of the book of Genesis. Then you start with number one, start with the prologue, then you explain. Please, if you explain very well. Explain. Even with your 2 paragraph for your introduction, then with the 5 religious values that you want to explain. Then after that, your conclusion. You will have written like at least like three what's it called? 3 sheets of paper. You have written like 3 sheets. So this is how you write. And when people are reading your book, like when people are about marking, they're like interested. Oh, this person is bold. This student is courageous. Not just from reading what you wrote. I'm like, I need this one never know it. Sure, you understand. So you need to write in a way that you show that you are Okay, for every question, are we to answer? Okay, for every question we are to answer, do we need introduction? Need it. Need introduction because it carries mark. I'm just telling you this because these are ways. When I was in 200 level, that was when I knew how to like attempt question very well. Because I was teaching when I was doing that because I know that if my students should attempt the question, I know that the first line don't just go to the point. Don't just answer me. Do you agree? Yes, I agree. No, you have to tell me why you agree. You have to explain. You have to introduce it to us if you can. Introduction is just like introduction can be like 3 lines, 4 lines, 4 lines, 4 lines. Then you move down to the okay to the question to the answer. I hope you get that. So it's your benefits for your own good if you give introduction for every question for your own good. It's just adding 2 marks to you and sometimes 1 mark, while sometimes 3 marks. It depends on how your introduction, how you introduce it. So it's very good for you and conclusion is also good. For every of the question, always conclude. Always conclude. So that aside, I told you to highlight and explain the importance of the book of Genesis, then you go to conclusion. So that is our question in case you have been asked that. Then number two, another one, in case you see that maybe you were asked to like talk about he said Moses is the author of the Pentateuch discourse. Moses is the author of the Pentateuch discourse. Just like, yes, Moses is the author. But now the thing is to talk about it. Don't just tell us that Moses is the author. You have to discuss. Tell us, okay, let me come this way. You introduce to us at the Pentateuch, that is, tell us about the. If you are to introduce that question, and you read the question, even Moses is the author of the Pentateuch. Discuss. What did I want to write in the introduction? What is Pentateuch? Discuss what Pentateuch means. Penta is from the two Greek word penta. I think penta, which is five. Maybe penta means five. It's the first five book of it. These are your introduction. It's not that you want to go and bring introduction from somebody. Your question, it is in your question that you know that, oh, this is what I used to need to use in introducing. For the first one I told you, you will tell us about the meaning of Genesis. This is our introduction. For this now, telling us about Moses being the author of Pentateuch, you tell us the meaning of Pentateuch, what it is, what it entails. So these are just like your introduction. Sorry, your network is having issue. Sorry, no sound. Are you sure? Network. Don't worry, you can come back to the question to the video. It's going to be on my YouTube channel. You can come back and watch it later. So once you talk about the meaning of Pentateuch, you introduce Pentateuch to you. That's your introduction. Then you talk about the uh, the issues surrounding the authorship of Moses. The issues surrounding the authorship of Moses, and most people believe that Moses is not right, while some believe that Moses wrote. Thank you very well. You can hear me clearly, Kelvin Keller. Thank you so much. So, you guys, are you guys hearing? Is it only me? Idausa, maybe it's your network. Don't worry, you can come back to it later. So, tell us the issue involving the authorship of Moses, as some people believe that Moses wrote, while some believe that Moses did not wrote. So these have been issues over time, and even till now, it has been an issue. Critical scholars are those that believe that Moses did not write. Tell us the reason why did they believe that Moses did not write. Because there are inconsistencies in the book of Genesis. The name of God is different from the name that is used in so chapter. The dates sometimes are inconsistent. The language used, and so on. Just tell us the reasons why. Then then after that, because of this reason, they bring up what is called a documentary hypothesis. They brought up what is called documentary hypothesis, which is the JEDP. Thank you very much, Israel. JEDP. I gave you that. I think I explained that also. I gave you the note. At the JEDP, the Jawistic, the Eloistic, they will explain. Once you explain that, because then you now said, but the traditional view ascribe the book of Genesis to just to Moses. So once you use all those things, once you say it like that, then you tell us the reason why does the church fathers or the traditional fathers give or ascribe the book of or the Pentateuch to Moses? Number one, revelation. Number two, oral tradition. Even in there's internal evidence, there's external evidence that Moses wrote the Bible. Hope you understand. I've given you guys these notes. Those people that attend the first and second, okay, and I think a particular group did present this topic. Yes, just tell us for and against, like a critical view. That is what they're trying to tell us. Your traditional view should come last because you're trying to justify. You're trying to tell us that Moses wrote the Old Testament. I hope you understand. So another thing is that in case you are asked to discuss the uniqueness in the creation of the book of Genesis, like uniqueness of the creation in the book of Genesis over other ancient Near Eastern creation story. That is, tell us why is the book of Genesis, the creation of the book of Genesis, unique to all other ancient Near Eastern creation story. Then you start with your introduction by telling us what ancient Near Eastern means and what the creation, how the creation of the book of Genesis looks like. We explain briefly the creation of Genesis from chapter 1, chapter 2, talks all about the 6 days the 6 day creation. And by the first day, heaven and earth, God created heaven and earth. Second day, the firmament. Just brief explanation of the creation story. Then you move to the creation of man, how God creates man. Okay, but before that, you can tell us that in the book of in the creation story of book of Genesis, God first thing that God did was He put things into order because it says that the spirit of God was moving over the surface of the earth. That is in the beginning. That is God created heaven and earth. The spirit of God was moving over the earth. The earth was without form and void. There was chaos in the beginning. So what God did was that He put those chaos into order. He created the heaven and earth. He created this, he created that, he created this by the word of mouth. That is, want to tell us, really explain, talk about the key features. Then after you explain the creation story in the book of Genesis, you now point out the key features, explain the key features. Number one, monotheism. It was God only. God was the only one there. He he is a sovereign God. So he was one creating this, let there be this, and there was, let there be this, and there was. That's the key feature. We explain that. And that one is order of chaos. I told us that he called all other chaos into order. Because then what we have there is water. There is water in the head. The head was without form and void, but he made it, he created it, he created the word out of nothing. So you mentioned that you talk about the creation by the word of mouth, where you were saying let it be, and it was. And you are trying to tell us the creation story in the book of Genesis. You explain how God created out of nothing, ex nihilo. He created the word out of. It's not that God he used a God to create heaven and earth. No. So these are the key features in the book of Genesis. That is, first thing you do, your introduction, and tell us about the story in the book of Genesis. I hope you get the network is very down. Sorry, successful Kende. You can come back to the video and check it later. So once you are done explaining briefly the creation story in the book of Genesis, tell us the key features, like 4 or 5 of them, which is monotheism, creation out of nothing, word of mouth, order of chaos, and so on and so forth. Then you now move to the other explanation of the what's it called? The ancient Near Eastern. You can talk about the Babylonian creation story. You talk about the Egyptian or the Atrahasis creation story, the Atrahasis creation story. We can talk about 2 of them. You can pick the Babylonian and the Atrahasis. And I think I explained that to you in class. I gave you the notes whereby we'll talk about the Babylonian creation story, which is the Mesopotamian myth. That is, it's talking about the rise of the god Marduk, the rise of the god Marduk. Whereby I explained to us that there is a god called Apsu, there's another god called Tiamat. There's a god called Apsu, another god called Tiamat. And whereby this Apsu is from one is from fresh water, while one is for swilling water. In other words, that they're like a couple, they're like a friend or couple, and they have other gods. But there was a particular time whereby the noise of the smaller god become irritating to the god of Apsu. Then Apsu told Tiamat that he's going to kill the other gods. But Tiamat doesn't want this to happen. She went down there to meet the smaller god to tell them that This specific person is planning to kill you guys. Your voice, your noise is too much. Can you please reduce your voice? But instead of that, the smaller god, they did meetings among them. They chose a god, which is Marduk. And Marduk, they promised that if Marduk was able to kill Apsu, then he will be their chief god. And Marduk went on to kill Apsu. Then Tiamat, on hearing that his friend or his spouse has been killed, she was enraged with anger. She was enraged with anger and she wanted to revenge. She chose Kingu as his commander so that they could fight back to with the smaller gods. So in the battlefield, Kingu was killed and the blood of Kingu was used to create human. Tiamat was eventually killed, was split into two, and one part of her was used in creating heaven, one part is used in creating earth. It told us that the tears from her eyes refers to the river Euphrates and Tigris. Then we told us that her breast was used in creating mountain and so on and so forth. So once you explain, you gave that brief explanation, tell us the key factor of that. That in that creation, we have polytheism. There's chaos also. There is what's it called? There is creation of man. There's creation of world. The things were created with somebody's part and everything. And it's creating out of something, out of substance. I hope you understand. Then you move to the next one, which is the Adriatic's epic, whereby the there's a gods they create human being from the blood of King. So don't forget that human being was created from the blood of King. Then he creates human being from the blood of King, and human being were created to do menial jobs. Human being were created to do menial jobs for the gods while the gods went to sleep. Human being were the one working for them. But there came a particular time by the population of human being became increasing, was increasing. They populated in the dying world. And the gods plot to wipe off humanity with flood. Then there's a god, Kia or Ea, that's the name of the god. He came to tell a man that was righteous, Atrahasis, that was the name of the man, that so God is planning to kill you guys, to wipe you guys with flood. This is what you should do. Create an ark, put your family, put two animals there, so that when the flood comes, you and your family with those animals will be safe. So this is what we have in the Triassic epic, because it talks about a righteous man, just which we symbolize to be like Noah in the Old Testament. So this man did what that God asked him to do, and at the end he was saved. He and his family was saved. So then you tell us the key features that the gods are more powerful than the human. The human being are created from inner job. They are created from somebody's blood. There's chaos, there's fire, there's blah 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 blah. Then after everything, you have talked about the story of this the creation story in the book of Genesis. You tell us the key feature. You talk about the one of Babylonian myths. You talk about the key feature. You talk about the Atrahasis epic. You talk about the key feature. Then overall, the uniqueness, just like the difference is why the book of Genesis is different from all other creation. Now the uniqueness of the book of Genesis is number one, monotheism. Among all other epics, among all other creation stories in ancient Near East, among all other, the book of Genesis portrays a monotheistic God. It portrays a monotheistic. There is only God who is sovereign. But all other gods, we are having different gods. We have Apsu, we have Tiamat, we have Marduk, we have Kingu, we have a lot of gods. But the reason why the book of Genesis is unique in the fact that you only have the presentation of one God, only one God, and He is sovereign. He created this out of nothing. That is that. Okay, let's talk about that monotheism. Number two, creation of word. God created out of nothing. He was creating with word of mouth. With word of mouth. But if you look at all other gods, all other epics, all other creation story, they were creating from a substance. They were creating the word. The word then was in the Babylonian Empire, Babylonian epic, sorry. The body of Tiamat was used in creating heaven and earth, and this was used in creating rocks and everything and everything. But they're just telling us differences. That shows the uniqueness of the book of Genesis. So you talk about the question of woman. In the book of Genesis, woman was created out of dust, and God breath. his breath of life into human, which made human share from the glory, from the communicable attribute of. And I thought as a communicable attribute, which is love, wisdom, justice, and so on and so forth. But human beings are created to do menial job. They're not even created to be like the other gods. They're not even created to share some things. But for Genesis, human beings are created to communion with God, to fellowship with God. I hope you are getting it. You're telling us how it is different. Now, before you explain what each of the story looks like and their key features, what we can see there. But now you're telling us how Book of Genesis itself is different from other chapters. So you talk about the creation of human, you talk about the other of chaos, whereby God subdued all of that things that was in earth. He subdued. But these people they couldn't subdue, they were creating gods from themselves. Some of that gods were creating themselves by masturbating, while some they were killing other gods, they were doing this, they were doing that. But God wasn't like that. God's own wasn't like that. So we talk about a lot of uniqueness in the book of Genesis. That makes Genesis different from all other. I think if you talk about 5 or 6 of it, for that particular question, say you have answered, you have used like 4 or 5 books to answer that. Because this is like story. It's like story. So you have to don't forget that you're answering just 3 questions. So in case you are told to like discuss the ways, another one, in case you are told to discuss the ways in which the creation of man is different from all other aspect of creation. This one is very, very interesting topic. Creation of man, different from all other creation. We talk about it in class. The man is not created as a robot. Man is created out of dust. Just like other things in the book of Genesis, they were created with the word of man. Let there be and there was. Let there be and there was. But when it comes to man, he said, let us create man in our own image. That is different. That is the way in which man is created. Let us create man. Man is seen as the epic, as the apex of God's creation. When it comes to man, God used substance, not out of nothing. If it bends down or it does not bend down, sorry, DA2, your network. Don't worry, you can come back to the question later. So you can come back to the video. So man's creation is just very, very unique. He is created as the apex of God's creation. He is created and he was overwhelmed with the glory of God. He shared a communicable attribute with God. Unlike other animals, unlike other things that was created by the word of mouth, let there be and there was. I think somebody was mentioning this when it comes to the two, let there be, the four, let there be. But when it comes to man, he said, let us create. And that word, let us create, doesn't mean that God is calling some counsel or he is calling some angels to come and assist him. It's want to show the emphasis of the uniqueness of the creation of man. He is sovereign, he is enough, he is all powerful. It's just to show that man's creation is different. Man is not created as a robot. They have choice. Make them to have choice. This is good, this is bad. Choose. He created them to like share from his wisdom. I told us in class that animals or the things that was created by God cannot just decide that. Like fishes cannot decide that, oh, we've been living in the water for decades. Let's change our environment. Let's go to the space. Let's go to the land. Let's do this. They can't do it. They can't think. They can't decide on themselves. Animals like a goat or anything, they cannot say, oh, goats cannot say, oh, let's try and be living inside water. Let's see. We have tortoises that live in water. We have those that live on land. Sorry, your blue network is after your life. You survive. So, so man is created in a different way. That they can think, they can act, they are doing things, they are doing innovation, they are creating buildings, robots, laptop, like they're creating a lot of technologies which animals cannot do. This is because we share. What we are sharing from God's attributes is just little. So that's why we cannot comprehend God Himself. Because we are what we share like I share your spot now. I share your spot. Although they have made it easy that I can limit you from the data you can use. Yeah, I did that for somebody. I shared the person data and I limited the person for just 50 megabytes, 100 megabytes. I because I'm the one sharing, but me, the host, I can use unlimited data I want to use. That is just like what God has given man and what God has. Because we are sharing doesn't mean we have the same thing. Because we are sharing doesn't mean we can have the full access like the person that gave it to us. Now I'm sharing us, but I've limited it that I'm giving you just 1 point something gig. I'm putting it there. So once you get to the limit, the person cannot do anything again. But even as at that, man is a unique being. But man should not try buy sin, you go buy food. Imagine, you guys are not serious. So man is not just created like being God exactly, but we share from his attribute. That's why we are doing things that go to the space. We are discovering a lot of things. Hope you understand. We are making life better. We create good rules. We create this. This is because we are unique. We are unique being. We are unique creation of God. So just tell us. Hmm? Explain. Okay, if you want to do that, you give us introduction. What is man? What is human? Like just tell us. What do we have? That's just like you can introduce and how God created us. Then you enter into the topic, you start telling us the uniqueness, you start explaining. Explain in paragraph. Please explain in paragraph. Each paragraph should carry marks. But if you keep writing in blog, then you can write, moreover, although animals are created also, just like a creation of God, but they cannot do this, they cannot do that, they cannot do this. But the man is doing something, man is going more than his limit. Man is even questioning God. Imagine questioning God as how, like, you have, I shared you all spots, I limit you from what you want to use. Now you're coming to question me that, this thing is no longer the what I'm giving you is what I wanted to give you. Decide because I'm the host. God is the host. He has shared from us for us. That is why when we sin against Him, He give us this. He give us the punishment. Now we are asking Him, who is going to answer us? He has given us all sin have problem. Hey, sorry. So I hope you can get that. That's that. Then if don't forget to always conclude. Conclusion is very, very important. You conclude whenever you are. If you explain, you brag, do this. Explain as if you are confident enough. Like tell us, moreover, use those words. Not just in this course alone, it will help you in all other courses. It will help you. Paragraph, introduction, conclusion, using those words, moreover, in conclusion, in that. That's very, very, it's going to help you go a long way. Another one I want you to note is that if you have to talk about the messages and theology of the book of Genesis, discuss the messages and theology in the book of Genesis. I think that's the last thing we did in class, whereby two things is already put together. Message of Genesis and theology of Genesis. Then don't forget that you introduce. You can start by saying, by attempting the above question. Yeah, you are writing essay. If you want to write essay, what the motive is the most important thing. Your motive of doing your exam is for you to have good grade. You don't want to have three. If you don't write essay, if you don't want to write essay, it is okay. You don't want to write essay, it's okay. But if you have three, if you have two, you manage it. But for you to be able to like get your score, 4 or 5, you need to write. You need to know. You need to know that you know what you're writing. So now if you have to write, yeah, write more than 2 pages. Yeah, okay. If you need extra sheet, there's extra sheet for you. Don't worry. If you have big handwriting, those people that have big handwriting, congratulations. And please write boldly, legibly. If you have tiny handwriting, those of you that used to like, as if you are drawing while you're writing, it will not help you in this course. So not even in this course. It will not help you in this studies, in your general study. You need to imbibe a way of writing legibly. I know you're writing very fast, but please write legibly. Let people to be able to see. Not that they'll be looking for your matric number. Who is this person? This person did not write anything. This person did this. You'll be giving us problem. We'll be like we'll be using for looking for microscope to read your book. You survive. So if you have to write down the messages and the theology of the book of Genesis. Number one thing you can start with the theology or you can start with the message. You already understand. I explained it to you in the class that messages of the book of Genesis is telling us what the book of Genesis is passing to us. What is it trying to tell us? What are the key features in the book of Genesis? What are the messages? What can we learn? What are the moral lessons we can learn from the book of Genesis? Then when it comes to the theology of the book of Genesis, of the book of Genesis, that is, how have we been able to understand God? How have we been able to perceive God? As in the book of Genesis, how has the book of Genesis shows us God? How has it made us understand God, who He is, what He has done? But telling us about the study of God, the study of the nature of God, the study of the attribute of God. It is in Genesis that we know God. We cannot go and read the book of Malachi or you Exodus and you say that, oh, God, God was the one that took the Israelite out of Egypt, and that's all we know about God. No, But if you look at the book of Genesis, it tells us this person from the beginning that he has been alone from the beginning. He has been. So if you want to talk about the theology of the book of Genesis, just give an introduction also. Then if you want to pick first, if you're talking about the messages, talk about then once you are done with the message, you can like five messages, five theology of God. That's theology of the book of Genesis. Then if you look at the messages, number one is that it's trying to tell us, pass to us that God is sovereign. God is sovereign. He's above all other things. Nobody's dragging with him. Even the person that was dragging with God, which is Satan, God put him in his face. My MTN is behaving. Sorry, you survive. You all survive. Your handwriting, increase your handwriting, make it legible, write it very big. Because to help you in future. So we talk about what messages and what the book of Genesis is trying to pass, which is number one, telling us about God as a sovereign act. Number two, sin. It introduces what sin is to us. If you are looking for, hey, where did sin start from? Where did it emerge from? What is the origin of sin? It is in the book of Genesis. Then it is in the book of Genesis that we know the consequence of sin, that the consequence of sin is death. The consequence of sin that we are passing through now, the hard labor, the hustling things and everything, and the way we are working and what things are still the way it is. It is in the book of Genesis that you can go back to see it. So we learn, these are moral lessons, these are messages that the book of Genesis is passing. Hope, in the book of Genesis that there is hope for us. Even though God did not outrightly hate us. He punished us fine, but he still gave us hope that he's going to send his son. That verse that says Genesis chapter 3, verse 15, whereby the Son of Man will bruise him on the head while he will bruise him. That is something to bruise him in the heels, on the heels, while the Son of Man will bruise him on the head. That is Jesus Christ coming to scatter the house of death, coming to scatter the work of devil. That is to bring us hope. You know that sin has brought gap between God and man. And it's in the book of Genesis that we see the plan of God to bridge this gap. It's in the book of Genesis that God made plan to bridge the gap by sending Jesus Christ to us. And for who that anyone that believes in him will not perish but have everlasting life. So Genesis in the presentation of that's group six, you can tell them group six, please send them your PDF, your of soft copy of what you present. You can see the message of Genesis. There is a lot there. Tells us about a lot of things. Tells us that it tells us that faith, you know, Abraham walked with faith, and faith led to he walked with God through faith. He has not seen God before, he does not know who he is. He was a pagan, he was from an ungodly family, but he followed God by faith. So faith is just like an obedience to God. That is, obedience to God gives reward, while disobedience gives punishment. This is in the book of Genesis that we know that these people they disobeyed God. That is Adam. That is Adam and Eve. They disobeyed God and they received their punishment. Abraham obeyed and followed God by faith. We see his reward. God made him the father of nations. His name does not go into extinction. Till now, there's still a song, Abraham blessings are mine. Genesis, now you do this one. Ekpele. Okay, no problem. You can come back to listen to it. You can come back. Only group six, please. All groups should do the same. Yes, all group, please. All group send your. Because there are some questions that I have mentioned that some people actually did justice to those books. So they should send their PDFs to you guys. And there's a lot of messages that the book of Genesis is passing. Okay, thank you very much, Israel. Very, very important. You guys should do that. So another thing is that the theology, now you move to the theology of God, the book of Genesis. What is theology? Tell us. You can even use theology to start. You can use that as your introduction. Tell us what is theology. Then you talk about the theology of the book of Genesis. Then you talk about the message of the book of Genesis. Then you come to conclusion. I think that would be okay. Then what is theology? Theology is from the Greek word theos and logos, which is theos means God. Logos means study. It is the study of God. We want to know God. How can if not for the book of Genesis, we will not know God. People have been saying from left to right that there is no God, that God does not exist, a human being come into existence by some animal being held scientific. They were bringing out different facts to claim that there is no God, to show that this world just come into being by natural evolvement, and nature just evolved. Nature just evolved, and we have the world. But Genesis dispute the facts that they have always been chaos in the beginning. The world is not built, it was without form and void. There has already been chaos. There have been some different animals, some different things in the world then. But God came, put those chaos into order. He created heaven and earth. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. So then you not talk about Genesis telling us about God. But one thing that it tells us about God is that God is sovereign. He's all powerful. It is all you can when you explain God being sovereign as sovereignty of God, telling us that He's all powerful, is this, is that. Talk about the omnipresence of God. He is present. When Adam and Eve were going astray, God knew. It was they knew that these people would go astray. It was there. You need that. Don't worry, we went the class, we just 1 hour class. It's almost 1 hour. We went soon. Sorry, eh? Ele? You need that. Don't worry, I'll share that out for you. So you talk about the sovereignty of God, being all powerful, being I'm just imagine how I will answer my question in exam. Or I pray I shouldn't forget all these rules and please don't forget the rules and regulation. Your five, you need to get your five. Introduction, paragraph, using some adjective like although, however, period, this and that, in conclusion. I shouldn't give away 500 but yeah, sorry. Don't worry, it's almost 1 hour. So talk about that God is love. God is love. He might be his wrath is very, 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 very like it is unspeakable. It can be and he can do anything, he can do and undo. You need five, you need five, you need to work for it. Yes, you need to work for the five. So talk about God being lovable, even as at anger, he still have mercy. Look at what he did for Adam and Eve. After chasing them out of the Garden of Eden, he still prepared something for them. He clothed them. They knew that they were naked. But at least he killed and made sacrifice. He did redemption for them. He redeemed them by preparing someone that is coming, and also he clothed them. So God is not outrightly wicked. He's not outrightly. He's a loving God. He's a wonderful God. When he wanted to clear off the world, when he wanted to use flood to destroy the world, he still found a righteous person. Even in Sodom and Gomorrah, he told Abraham that if there is five people, if there is two, if there is this, he will not destroy this. But you can see how loving heart. He just want to explain about God, what he has portrayed there. He fulfilled his covenant with Abraham, with the patriarchs. God is a covenantal God. He had covenant with Abraham, with Jacob, and Isaac. And as at that, he fulfilled his covenant. Even till now, he fulfilled his covenant. He gave the Israelites the Canaan land. That is which we have today as Israel. So just tell us about God. Don't worry, I will end the class soon. People are crying for data, Lele. Don't worry. You can actually come back to like um listen to the video again whenever you are able to like do that. So make sure you follow these rules. Another thing, another last one, in case you were asked to talk about the relevance of the book of Genesis to the contemporary world. The relevance of the book of Genesis to the contemporary. You just need to answer three questions. But I'm just like, in case you were asked, like, I'm giving you this question, in case you asked to like discuss the relevance of the book of Genesis to the contemporary world. It's just the same thing as your message and theology. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as what if the theology question comes out, you write the theology first and message. It depends on you. You can choose to answer the theology first, or even if it's theology that is coming first, you choose to answer anyone first. Since you're answering both, so it's your choice. It's your choice. It's your choice. If you don't get five, then I know it's my belief. Yeah, because I've really given you what you need. I cannot open your head and put book there. So if you did not get five, it's your village people. It's your village people. So in case, yes, now I told you that's the area of concentration. Somebody is saying that we are crying for AOC. Abi HOC, happy. So that's these are the areas. So then in case you ask for them, we have to like talk about the message of Genesis to the contemporary world. Just the same way you want to answer the message of the book of Genesis. That's how you want to answer it. Because it is in the book of Genesis that we see where sin come from. That we see that the wages of sin is there's punishment for sin. So you can just this same answer goes for both questions. So in case you did not see the message and theology, you see the message of to the contemporary world, you still use that to answer it. So just what you need to know is that um it's like a normal class, but it's a revision. Actually, it's a revision. We are revising. So I just wish you guys all the best. If you have any question, kindly ask me. Oh. I have missed some part of it. Say, Pele. Don't worry, don't worry. They will send the part. They will send those parts to you, Pele. So I just wish you guys all the best, and I'm just trying to tell you that it is easy for you to have five. Don't ever in your life answer two questions and believe you have five, or believe you have four, or believe you have three. You answer two questions. Two questions. Just pé it might not be the way the lecturer wants it you to answer. So people like I shall do two out of three. You answer three gan you never see five. You're answering two. So don't ever do that. Always attempt your three question completely, and please don't. Yes, contemporary word that is discuss the relevance of the message of Genesis to the contemporary world. What is relevance? It's just the same thing as the message of the book of Genesis, message and theology. So it's the same. If you read for one, you can answer the two. But in case one comes out, you feel at the advantage. I'm taking notes. Oh, she's doing amazing. Thank you very much, Israel. Thank you so much. Thank you. So you can use both to answer that. We are talking about the message of Genesis. It's still the same thing to the contemporary world. So you can say that that question is very, very relevant. So please don't answer two questions and believe you're having three. If you have three, when you answer two questions, you have three. It means your many people are sleeping. Because zero no one show from be one of the two. Let me use one or two. But please always attempt your three questions. Then do not start praying to have four or five. By then, God can answer you. God will answer. Don't worry. All these things you're saying is just for you to like put effort, more effort to all your courses. Please don't settle for less. Don't go for three. In all your courses, don't say, oh, man, I'm only three. No, don't say, thank God I have to. No, your pursuits should be four and five, and I believe God will give it to you. Please, and the earlier the better. All these things I told you, please apply it to all other courses, all of your courses. Apply it to it, please. Don't just use it on Genesis and you are good. No, at least by this way, because I also got my standing when I was in 200 level. In 100 level, I don't know how it went. 100 level, I just do my thing, I go to my work, and I don't really have a good stand. But from 200 level, I pick it up, and here I am today. You can have first class today, you can have it in future, like in the nearest future. What you need to do is work towards it, have the mind, and keep doing better. Don't go down from your formal CGPA. Don't let it go down, and with that, God will keep helping you. Always put God first. Though. Always pray. If you are going for exam, if after the exam, make sure because it is immediately you finish your exam, God will you know that you do well, you didn't do well. So it depends on you. And I pray God help you. Please always read and always read. And please, you have been given area of concentration. Don't just go and hold it. Don't just go and say, when exam is coming, I will come and listen to this video. No, get a 40 leaf, get a 40 leaf book, write out the question and start attempting it. Start attempting those questions. After attempting them in a detailed way, then start doing it. In that way, you are okay. You are good to go. Go and get 40 leaf, write out that question, pick four, and start working on it. Don't wait until exam time before you start like, I'll go and listen to a video, I'll go and read the book. Once exam is coming, I'll start cramming. No, you have enough time. And do that for all your courses. And if you do that, then don't worry. Come and thank me later. Prayer is important. And I pray God will help you. Put God first. Yes, very, very important. God bless you guys too. Very well. Although maximum of people that attend this online is just 40 people. Only 40 people. Leave that. I was even thinking I was like close to 100, but I'm saying just 40. But thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up. but it's for your own good also actually. Anyone with group C's questions should please send to the group. So Israel will take from here in your group. We send you the necessary things you need to do, and you can always come back to the YouTube channel to check for other further details. So see you in the exam or bye. If you don't have any question, I need to go. It's already 1 hour spent. But if you have question, I can still take it. But please send the question. Don't worry, they will send question to you. Pele. Don't worry. Yeah, people have started finishing their classes. You have time to read. Don't engage in what's it called? Election. Election is coming next week. They will distract you. They will distract you. Go home and read. Start reading. You can come and you can just come to school if you would like, because all read and not play make Jack a double actually. Don't just read and not take a break. Start doing all the questions for all your courses. Start if they're giving you area of concentration, get book, put your question and start attempting them. And I pray God will help you guys. Oh, attendance! Please don't go. Oh, go, go, go. I will send it to the group now. Thank you for reminding me. Imagine this is how I'm going to forget.